Hey the Grande Alive, it's your weekly Newsish Roundup brought to you by Grande Hospital, Northwest Furniture and Mattress, Anything Digital, EONI, Country Financial, Valley Realty, and Les Schwab Tire Center. How many of you, when I say Soapbox Derby, think of little cars built that raced on a long track the length of a long buffalo? Well, I do, probably because I did Soapbox Derby when I was a Cub Scout, and that was what it was, a fun pastime that the Cub Scouts could do with their families that involved small cars. But come to find out, there's a nationally fully accredited sport of Soapbox Derby all over the world. Every year, participants from age 10 to 60 build their own full-sized car, finely tune it for the particulars of the track they're racing, then race it down, not staring on from the sidelines, but sitting front and center, driving their homemade car at perilous speeds of 30 to 50 miles an hour. It's like bobsledding on pavement. At least that's the way I had it described to me this week by one Grande father-son team who just recently came back from a near win at a national contest all the way in California. And this is the kiddo who is in the driver's seat.
Well, my name is Reese Delaney, and I got into Soapbox Derby because my dad showed me the track, and I thought it was kind of cool. So I decided, well, maybe we should get into that.
Now, as you can see, the little guy is a little shy. His gig is driving the car, not talking to some weird bearded guy in a camera. But a few of the particulars he did articulate were that he loves the speed of racing down the track. When he gets in the car, he tries to get as low as possible, reducing wind resistance as to reduce the inches by which he often wins or loses a race. But though Reese was a little on the quiet side, his father Sam, his filial teammate and car handler extraordinaire, was able to describe the process of preparing for a season of racing for me.
When you build a car, you purchase a kit, and we purchased a stock kit, and there are specific instructions for how the car has to be put together. And the racer or the child really is the one that needs to put the car together. And what the parent or the guardian does is they're called the car handler, and they kind of oversee how the car is put together to make sure that all of the instructions are followed properly.
Now, Reese and Sam just returned from taking second place in a competition in California. Congratulations, guys. But in order to qualify for nationals in Ohio, they said, Reese and Sam must take first in a regional competition or garner enough points to get there. Reese and Sam have high hopes for this season. And interestingly enough, there is actually a training routine that Reese goes through to prepare and condition for races.
You know, for Reese, he does stretching, he does running, just to keep himself kind of toned and in shape. And if you don't do those things when you start racing, you learn very quickly that other kids are doing it, and so yeah. And then of course, like any sport, the farther you want to take it, the better that you want to get. There's those sort of training things.
So if you see Sam and Reese at church or around town, wish them luck or providence, whichever you believe in. Ask them about Soapbox Derby. They're very knowledgeable and eager to tell. Also, both Reese and Sam's interviews will be available on the Grande Alive in full early next week, so you can learn more about it there. This story was brought to you by the Union County Commissioner's Office has announced its who's hot and who's not for next year's elections. Count them, two of the three current county commissioners will not be returning next year. Commissioners Jack Howard and Steve McClure will both be stepping down from their position and, well, moving on to different things. And this week, I got the opportunity to talk to them about what advice they would give to the next up-and-coming commissioners to take their seats.
One of the things we're lacking here is diversity. One of the things that we keep doing over and over again is relying on people that are established, that are older. It's time for younger people to start running for office. People in their early 20s need to run for office, run for city council. People in their 30s need to be county commissioners.
The first thing I tell everybody is you're going to make enough enemies, so the rest of the time you need to be just as nice as you can be. You can't afford to make any more enemies than you're going to make in the job. Another important aspect from my point of view is you have to like people. If you don't like people, this is not a job to be into, because you're going to deal with people all the time, You're going to deal with people that have a different point of view. I think it's important that when you're doing the job, that you're consistent. And, you know, if you make a decision with one set of facts and the same set of facts come up, you make the same decision. You don't make a decision based on who the facts are about, you know. I mean, that's what people expect from you.
Now, McClure has been a county commissioner for 27 years. 27 years! That's longer than I've been in existence. And though he said he's loved every minute of it, he says he's tired. His health is getting poorer and he wants to travel with his wife, to do some things for himself. Jack Howard, on the other hand, isn't done with his political career. In fact, he's heading east to run for the Oregon State Labor Commissioner, where he hopes to continue working on poverty and equal opportunity.
And by God, I'm going to run for state labor commissioner, and I'm going to have that argument of representing everyone in Oregon, and it's going to be an uphill campaign, but I'm going to do it. And I could have taken the safer route and said, well, yeah, I'll go ahead and run for re-election. I'll do that. And I can kind of work my way through, and I've still got some priorities I want to touch on with you locally. But I'm going to take that argument now, and I'm going to run now. So I actually filed on the first day of filing, September 7. I was at a meeting in Salem. So I went over to the Secretary of State and did what I thought of doing for a year. I prayed about it and considered the possibilities, the benefits of just having a discussion about somebody finally fighting for people in poverty in this state. And I thought, somebody said, are you sure you want to do that? And I said, hell yes. Who else is doing it? Who else has tried to do it? And my answer was, nobody's doing it.
But for every out, there must be an in, and two possible ins for next year's seats are local businessman John Lackey and local businesswoman Colleen McLeod. Now, John is a newbie to the professional political scene. He's been a military serviceman, a city council member, the head of multiple organizations, an over 50 years husband, and now owns Source One Consulting right here in the Grande. And the two things he says he's concerned about are economic responsibility and creating a government by the people for the people.
I want to be responsive to people and represent the people. My feeling is that there is a disconnect between the public, the voting public, the registered voters in the community, and the people in the government who are carrying out things. But I think it's very important to be a voice of the people, because we are a government of, by, and for the people.
Colleen, on the other hand, was a county commissioner for several years back in the day. She left her commissioner location because of some unfortunate personal circumstances. But she's ready to get back in the ring, and when you meet Colleen, you'll know just how apt that description really is. She's a 5-foot nun firebird that drives a Corvette, has started 3 successful businesses in the Grande, and reads Ayn Rand in her off time. And the issues she says she's interested in addressing are business and wildland management.
I'm kind of an involved person, and I've always been involved in economic development and natural resources. I was women in timber and kind of involved in that because I think economic and development and natural resources are sort of twin sisters of each other in rural parts of Oregon. For this area, it is both a blessing and a curse because we are rich in natural resources, but have been basically the target of kind of what I feel is misinformation and mismanagement of our natural resources.
Now, don't grab your number 2 pencils and delete your Facebook accounts just yet. Elections aren't until next year. So be sure to stay tuned to La Grande Alive for more coverage for the upcoming local county commissioner elections to stay informed. All these interviews will be available in full on La Grande Alive. This story was brought to you by
Country Financial, now located on Adams Avenue in downtown La Grande.
And here's your upcoming events with Emily Adair from Go Magazine and Get Out and Go.
Hi, I'm Emily Adair from Go Magazine.
And I'm Will Bowman from La Grande Alive, and this is Get Out and Go.
This week's Go Magazine features a classical musician who performs in unique outdoor settings. Hunter Nowak will play the Oregon Trail Interpretive Center in Baker City.
Riders in the Sky, a band that combines country western music and left field humor, will perform at the OK Theater. The last time the group played the Enterprise stage, the show was sold out. Now they're bringing a kids' matinee show to add to the fun.
The annual Alpenfest brings Little Switzerland to life in Wallowa County. The 4-day celebration includes yodeling and music from accordions and Alp horns. There will also be some traditional Swiss cuisine and adult beverages.
Also, Island City Elementary School and the Grand Ronde Symphony Association are starting a fiddle club for kids.
And finally, tickets are now on sale to see a one-man show by Michael Pennington. The actor is famous in the UK for his Shakespearean acting. His show, Sweet William, will be held in Elgin.
For more details, pick up a copy of this week's Go magazine, which is inserted in the Observer and Baker City Herald.
We're also online at GoNortheastOregon.com and on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
For more local content, check out LagrandeLive.tv. Thanks for tuning in to Get Out in the Go. And here's your local sports with Ronald Bond from the Observer newspaper with your weekly sports spotlight.
I'm Ronald Bond, sports editor with the LaGrande Observer, and this is the high school sports spotlight. It was much closer than a year ago, but the LaGrande Tiger football team could not quite pull off the upset of Sunnyside, losing Friday night 40-28. Andrew Peasley and G.T. Blackman were the two stars, though, for the Tigers. Peasley threw 4 touchdown passes, and Blackman had caught 3 of those touchdown passes, also had 2 interceptions on defense. Among the regional teams that did win on Friday, though, were Wallowa and Elgin, and Joseph pulled a shutout victory on Saturday. Both of the LaGrande soccer teams are on a bit of a roll of late. The LHS girls have won 3 in a row, including most recently a win over Baker on Saturday and over Umatilla on Tuesday. Elena Carson was big in the game Tuesday afternoon, scoring 3 goals. The boys are on a 4-game winning streak, having also defeated Baker on Saturday and pulling out a 9-0 victory against Umatilla on Tuesday. The real star for them lately has been Adam Endress, who had a hat trick against both Baker and against Umatilla. The Catherine Creek Scamper out in Union was again an entertaining race that came down to the wire in the team score on the girls' side. Union Cove ended up winning it with 42 points, Enterprise right behind with 47, and LaGrande right in the mix with 52 points as well. The winner was Alyssa Fox for the girls, who won the race for the 2nd year in a row. Meanwhile, on the boys' side, Union Cove won in dominating fashion with 28 points, more than 50 points ahead of runner-up Greenleaf Friends out of Idaho. Alex Refunder won the race for the 2nd year in a row to lead the Bobcats to a 1st place, 2nd place, and 4th place finish. We're finally getting closer to league action. A couple of contests to look forward to this week. Wallowa travels to Joseph in a matchup in the Old Oregon League on the football gridiron, as well as Cove traveling to Powder Valley. The big one, though, is a non-league contest between LaGrande and Ontario as the Tigers make the trip east to meet the Tigers. Regional volleyball teams are also getting into the thick of their league action. A couple to keep an eye out on for Friday: Cove at Powder Valley and Wallowa at Joseph in the Old Oregon League, and Union at Enterprise in the Wapatai League. And on the pitch, LaGrande boys and girls travel to McLaughlin. That's all we have time for today. Make sure to grab a copy of The Observer every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and tune in online at LagrandeObserver.com. Follow me on Twitter at LGOBond, and check out LagrandeLive.tv. I'm Ronald Bond, signing out.
And here's your EOU Sports with Ian and Chris and Around the Mountain in 90 seconds.
I'm Chris Duarte.
And I'm Ian Dexter.
Welcome to Around the Mound in about 90 seconds.
The number 11 ranked EOU football team fell 28-20 in a tough game on Saturday against I-84 rival College of Idaho. Mountaineers defense forced 3 turnovers in the loss, but 3 offensive fumbles proved costly for EOU. The Blue and Gold next visit reigning Frontier Conference champions and number 5 ranked Montana Tech on Saturday at 1 p.m. Mountain Time.
EOU volleyball notched 2 wins over Evergreen and number 25 Northwest. Against Evergreen, the Mountains left Olympia with a 5-set victory. 3 players scored in double-digit kills, and the squad hit 238. The very next day, EOU swept Northwest in Kirkland. Amanda Miller had 15 kills, while Kylie McMurtry knocked 17 digs, and Madison Pylon set up 34 assists. The team is home this weekend against Corbin and NCU.
Both soccer matches in Portland against Warner Pacific were canceled due to air quality on Saturday and will be made up on October 14th. The men's and women's teams next host Northwest and Evergreen for the first home matches here at EOU on Friday and Saturday. Match times will be at 1 and 3:30 p.m.
The men's and women's cross-country teams competed for the first time in 2017 at the CCC Preview. The number 5 ranked men's team finished 3rd overall, led by senior Nick Mack's 7th place individual finish. The Mountaineers had 4 runners in the top 20. On the women's side, senior Rachel Rowley took 8th place individually, leading EOU to a 7th place team finish. Both teams compete next week, September 30th, at the Willamette Invitational in Salem. Well, that's a wrap for us here at EU Athletics. Join us next week as we take you around the mountain in 90 seconds.
For more information, visit us at eousports.com.
And that's your weekly Newsish Roundup. This roundup was brought to you by Grande Hospital, Anything to Digital, EONI, Northwest Furniture and Mattress, Country Financial, Valley Realty, and Les Schwab Tire Center. Please like and share the video and tune into Le Grande Live for more local content. I'm Mo Bowman.